my comic book fans and friends and family and people that are into comics. Merry Christmas, by the way. It's coming up. Merry Christmas to all. And what's the way it always ends? Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night, or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. It's like some line from like one of those books.
It's usually Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, but
No, no, no. There's another one. But so the point is, what are we talking about today? What is the subject today? Well, it is the hottest comics of 2022. And this is from Go Collect, that they created this list. We're going to be analyzing it and talking about these hot comics. Did they remain hot? Are they going to be even hot next year?
remember here, the definition is nothing to do with price. It's purely
Yeah.
the number of copies that sold in graded condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is purely mathematical, like hotness. It's in Celsius or Fahrenheit, depending on what you like. And it's based on number of issues sold. So that's actually kind of an interesting definition. So, okay. So let's get into the first one, Mark.
Okay, I need to share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go. Where am I going? I am going here, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, that's another debate. Okay. So
this is Modern Age. Okay, so these are the top 10 hottest comics. So I've run it over
based on sales.
65 days. These are the
Wow.
top selling comics, okay, this year. So at the top of the list, and this is quite surprising given the price of this comic, it's Ultimate Fallout 4. This is the first appearance, of course, of Miles Morales. Yeah. Price has come down pretty heavily. It sort of peaked at about 3,500, I think. It's now down at 1.8. But it does seem to have plateaued. So, what's your on this one, Alan?
So this is actually a really interesting one. So this is kind of the problem with any book like this, where if you look at the census, I think there's like, I don't know, 10,000, 15,000 of them on the census, something crazy like that. It's some big number.
Well, it's a modern book.
Yeah, it's a modern book. It's a modern book from the age of when people slabbed everything. Like, they basically went to their comic shop and then slabbed it.
Yeah.
That's the era. But it's also a hot character. Like, he is, to me, the modern Spider-Man, right? That most of the younger generation will see as their Spider-Man. So it has that desirability to it, but there's just so many copies of it that what happens is anytime this price goes up, people dump their copies on, and then the price crashes, and then then it rinses and repeats. It gets rare again for a little while because the price drops so much, and then it just keeps on doing that. So I would never spend more than 1,000 on this book. Like, it's just, that to me is mind-boggling. I paid $50 for my copy. That to me, I thought was a reasonable price. It's, unless there's more people born in the world, it's not going to go up too much more.
Yeah, I haven't got this. I missed it when it first came out. It was during the period I wasn't collecting comics. I'm not going to pay $3,000 for this, or 1,000. I can buy some really nice Silver Age stuff that I want. That's a lot rarer.
I think the last sales are around that 1900.
That's right. Yeah.
I have good memory for numbers. It's kind of one of those weird things. I mean, I think it did hit almost 4,000 at one point.
It did get pretty high. It did get up towards that. Yeah. I think there was one sale up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think, I wouldn't invest that much money into this comic. It just, can we talk about the one that's right next to it?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
So the same thing applies to that book as well.
Yeah.
So the Amazing Fantasy 15.
Oh, you took about this one over here, the record sale, yeah.
So when they had that big sale, and it was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is recent. Yeah, November the 22nd.
No, but when was, I think it was last year that there was the 3.6 million, 300,
Oh yeah,
3
well,
million point 65 million. That was last year,
yeah.
2021. And when I saw that sale, I thought that person overpaid for the book by 3.6. They way overpaid. It probably should have been a $2 million book. Okay.
Yeah.
To me, that's would have been a more close to a fair price. But it's one of those things where a lot of people got into the market and they thought that they were buying a good price. They thought they were buying a good investment, but there's just too many of those books on, there's like nowadays, like when you go to see the auctions, they have like 5 copies of it for sale. It's just, there's just too many of them. And the reason they have 5 copies is not because, they just want to have like a big auction where they show, oh, we have all these big books and they have like a lot of them. It's not that. It's just that even if they try to schedule it out where they only bring 1 copy to auction per auction, there's just too many copies that they have to bring 5 copies to that auction because there's just going to be 5 for every auction. It's just, there's just too many copies, that are available. And, everybody's trying to offload their copies while the market is still relatively high. It could tank even further. So they're trying to dump it before, before it crashes too much.
Yeah, it's not the rarest of comics, is it?
No, no. So that's that. So I see the Miles one and the original Spider-Man is
I mean,
having
you're better off trying to get a Detective 27 or
yeah. I mean, you look at Detective 27, less than 100 known to exist.
Yeah.
It is rare. It's just
yeah.
So yeah, I was never a big fan in terms of investment with Amazing Fantasy. Like a $20,000 book, yes. Going beyond that, kind of makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
So, and if you look historically, that's been the case too. It's always had the. It's same as the Miles book. It goes up, crashes. Goes up, crashes.
Yeah. It's not as stable as some other books because it's not as rare. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Right, on to the modern comics.
Sorry. Modern comics number 2.
Number 2 on the list, Thor 1. I got Jane Foster on the cover.
Yeah, another book that I bought for fairly cheap, actually. I think the problem with this book is the movie.
Yeah, the movie didn't do well.
Not a bad story, and the comic's not bad. The movie was terrible. Did you like the movie?
I didn't see. So you put me off 2 movies this year.
Oh my goodness! I'm ruining the MCU with my reviews.
So you put me off this one, but it wasn't just you. I heard a number of people give it 4 reviews. So I haven't seen it, and I haven't seen Wakanda Forever either.
But yeah, so I ultimately I still think it's a reasonably good book. I would wait till it hits its floor.
Yeah. And then, again, it's a modern book. We're in the modern section.
It's actually in a different. I think it's 2008, if I'm guessing correctly. I'm not sure when Thor 1 came out. I could be totally wrong on that, but I think it's 2008, which is actually a good era. Like I always tell people, if you can buy within that 2002 to 2010 kind of time frame, like they didn't print many comics back then.
No, the print was quite low. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like one of those things where actually for a modern comic, it's fairly rare.
I do like the cover. I like the cover.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So is there any way you can pull up the census on that one?
I can, but then I have to reload the market.
So just right click on it and then open up a new tab and then click onto that tab. No, I said right click and open up a new tab. Yeah. You clicked on it, so it's okay. It's okay. So there's 4,000 graded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which sounds like a lot.
And it's 2014, not 28.
Yeah, so I was way off on that. So it's a little bit later. That's why there's more of them. But still, 4,000 graded isn't that many
No. And what's the
for a modern book, is my point.
whoa?
Yeah, look at that. It's funny actually. If you look around 2019,
Was
there
that
was that
was
huge
that a
crash as
movie
well.
announcement? Was that
Yeah, boom, it crashed.
a
So
crash? Yeah.
actually,
I
if
mean,
you
it's
look at
back.
the value,
It's almost back here.
it's back. It's actually right in line with. I would say it's like back to its normal
Trajectory. Yeah.
trajectory. Yeah.
Goodness me. If
Um.
you pay $372 for this, you're not going to be a happy bunny.
Wow, $100 to me that's actually cheap. I would personally give it a value of around 150.
Okay.
So I think
Copy that then.
what I'm saying is it's under that value.
Yeah.
I say it's a good buy, actually.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a good buy because it's kind of a major story.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Okay.
Yeah,
I might look for a copy of that at $100.
yeah, at $100, that's a good price. Um, that's
Next up, I think it was the is it the Dr. Aphra first appearance?
yeah, it was Dr. Afra. Your internet's slow.
Wait, it's dealing with us talking to each other across continents as well.
Yeah. See, you insulted in a previous video that we did. You insulted North America, and that's where you're getting your internet from.
Oh,
So,
okay. So I'm getting punished.
I'm just being silly. But yeah. So the Doctor Afra one, are you a Star Wars collector?
I have got a full collection of the Marvel Star Wars and a full collection of the Dark Horse Star Wars. The Star
Okay.
Wars title, not all the other.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But this is the
This is
Marvel
Darth
again.
Vader, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, this would be Marvel again. Uh, so this is one that I actually picked up when it not when it first came out, but soon after it
Yeah,
first came
Darth
out. Like
Vader
I paid,
3. Yeah.
yeah, I paid $10 for it, and mine's like probably a 9.8 candidate. You know what I mean? I didn't bother to get it graded, but um, it's one of those books that really depends if they're going to be ambitious enough to make this a series about it. I think if they make a Disney seems to want to do everything, so
Yeah.
I I think it has high potential
Yeah, I
to,
think it's got high potential as well.
and it kind of does their diversity checkbox too.
Yeah.
So, it's a
Yeah.
girl in the lead and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, the thing about it is it's actually one of those stories that people like.
Yeah.
So it's not only is it a diversity hire, but it is actually a good story. I think it would make both Disney and their motives happy, and actually the fans happy. So I think if done right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think as a long term spec, I think it's a great book.
Yeah. Yeah. I do too. I haven't got a copy of it. I'll probably be looking
Yeah,
for it because I've got some
yeah,
good prices at the moment.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's dropped a lot, so
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
that's always a good thing.
Next one on the list, Amazing Spider-Man 4. This is the first appearance.
First Silk.
Silk,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
This has recovered a bit because they've announced there's going to be Silk. I can't remember if it's TV or film or something, but she's going to be appearing.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure about this one, but is it through they have Spider-Man and Friends, right?
Yeah,
As a cartoon series,
yeah,
which I haven't watched, so I don't really know anything about it. But I think maybe she's going to be on that, or I think it's going to be something similar to that. Is my point.
yeah. I got that impression, but it's
Yeah,
caused a spike in back or stopped it dropping any further.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool book. I have it, so I have to say it's great just because I have it. Don't want it to go down anymore. But I don't know. It's probably another one that has like 4 or 5 thousand on the census or something crazy.
It's got quite a lot, yeah. I actually got the variant cover to this from
Yeah,
Kyle,
me too.
part of our trade.
I think the variant is a good buy.
Yeah, because there's much fewer of those, of course.
Yeah, that's the one with it. Actually, it kind of reminds me of Amazing Spider-Man with Black Widow on it. You know,
Yes, it is like that. Yeah, yeah.
it really reminds me of that cover. That's why I liked it. So I actually got it from somebody that watches my channel. Yeah, so I have both copies. Um, Personally, I really like just the image
Yeah, no, it's a
of the
great
character.
cover.
Yeah.
I do like the cover.
So yeah, so I would say yeah, it's a good book.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. Spider-Gwen 1. And I like this cover as well.
Me too. Didn't wasn't it me that told you to go out and buy
Yes,
all the spider guns?
which I
Yeah,
did.
and you did well by doing that, right?
Yeah, yeah, no,
They were undervalued at the time.
I got this at cover price. So you told me
Yeah,
to go out and buy it, and they were still selling it at cover price at one of the stores that I use.
yeah, yeah. It was horribly undervalued at the time when I said that. Then it spiked afterwards, and then it's come back down after that spike.
Now, if Alan tells me to go out and buy something and it's relatively and it hasn't gone low, I generally go and buy it. It's like went and bought his Garfield thing, even though
Everybody bought that Garfield. Now that's a hot book. See, I'm trying to influence the market just so I can win a silly bet between us kind of thing.
yeah, when he tells you to go out and buy, Phantom Lady 21, from
No, don't buy that right now. Wait until I get it. Then you can go buy it as much as you like.
but he's generally pretty good on modern age stuff. Okay, so we
Mhm.
both like that one. We both bought it nice and cheap, so we're rooting.
And there's actually a few. What I recommend for Spider-Gwen
And there's
number
lots of
one,
variants as well.
there's some really like undervalued variants that
Yeah,
are
there are.
really rare
Yeah,
that I picked up because I was
yeah.
like, oh
I bought about 5 or 6 of the variants when you told me to.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're quite nice. Okay, so that's a good
Okay,
one.
next up, one of my favorite comic series just coming to an end as we speak, but it's been going on for over a year because it's had a couple of hiatuses in it. Nice House on the Lake 1.
Hmm. I like the story. It's a good
Yeah, I like the
story.
story. I spec on this heavily. I've got about 10 copies of this
Oh wow.
in various different. And I've also got 2 or 3 signed by Tinian from when he was at Thought Bubble.
Only problem with this book, and this is going to be, you're going to not like me for saying this because you spec on it, um, is it came after Something is Killing the Children,
It did, yeah,
and everybody jumped on this book.
yeah,
Everybody did exactly what you did. Um, and as a result, there's a lot more, people that have kind of
yeah,
bought into this book.
yeah,
So it doesn't have that potential that Something is Killing the Children did.
yeah,
Even that book has dropped, by the way. Even
yeah.
Something is Killing the Children. So this book, to me, it's like $100 book. Like, actually, can you right click and open it in
I
new
think it'd be
tab?
less than that, Alan. I don't think
I
it's.
think it's $100 in like a 9.8 kind of range. It would be my guess. It's $75.
Yeah, 75. I didn't think it was as much as.
I think of it as in that, yeah, in that range of value. There's actually there was a
Oh,
cover that I really liked.
that's
Yeah,
saying.
it was 200 at one point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, $36.
Yeah, it's come right down. You because this is exactly what you were just saying, though, Alan.
Yeah.
Lots of people jumped on this. They've all gone and got it. $200 here. $30-$40 now. But it's almost what it
Yeah.
costs you to grade it because loads of people went off and got it graded. Exactly
Yeah.
as you just said. Um,
Yeah.
so the market's full of these. Um,
Yeah. How many of them on the census?
uh,
There's 3,000 on the census. but probably look at the percentage. 9/8 is 2,700. It's
Yeah, of
mostly
course. Yeah, actually, that's not too bad. But the fact that 2070, if you've got
yeah.
an 8.5, it's a lot rarer.
What you should do is get like a point 0.5 copy, like just like beat to just like totally destroyed, submit it, and then it's the lowest on the census and it's the rarest of that grade. And maybe you can get big money for it. Um,
So
but yeah,
yeah, to be honest, uh, mine are all raw. And
mine too.
yeah, I'm not going to grade it. What's the point? You probably, I paid whatever this was cover price, $3.99. I'd be happy selling raw copy for $15, $20.
If you scroll down, I want to show you one thing that I actually think is a good spec. See the girl in the swimsuit?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. This one.
That one.
Yeah,
And I have that. I
yeah.
think that's a good spec for this book. If you click on that one, though I'm getting you to go way off topic here, but
You are, yeah.
but you'll notice, look how many on the census. 100.
Yeah, because it was a wanted comics edition C. It was a rare. There weren't many of them.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed, just based on personal experience, is comic collectors are a bit pervy, and a woman in a swimsuit.
Are you basing this on yourself, Alan?
This is based on myself, my own personal experience. Um, that a woman in a swimsuit, that cover is just awesome. I love that cover.
It's a great.
And you look at the fair market value on it.
Yeah, it's 270. I don't think it's moved. I'll be
See
surprised
how
if it's
that's
come down significantly. No, if anything, it's
no, it's
bounced back.
actually gone up. See how so things like that are what I look for. Like even in some of these books where it's been overly saturated, the market, there are opportunities if you know what you're looking for, and this is something that I would look for.
But this was never a cheap book. You were not able to go and get this for $3.99.
Yeah, I
As soon
forgot
as
how
this
much I
came
paid.
out, I think it was a $50 book.
Yeah, yeah. But there was an opportunity, especially around that crash point.
Down
So
here.
yeah,
You could have got it for $130 there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I paid under 100 for it. So, but I just like the cover.
Yeah.
I'm very much into my cover buys. Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna have to go back again now and do all this.
Okay, I messed you up now. So
Yeah,
yeah, sorry about that.
my yeah.
Modern. So maybe we do 5 on my channel and 5 on your channel.
Well, we've got Copper Age, Bronze Age, and Silver Age to do. I suggest we try and get through all the moderns.
Okay, let's try to get all through the moderns and then do the other 2 on yours. We're gonna do so much for you watching this video. We're trying to give you the greatest analysis for 2020.
Okay, number 7, Alan. Thor,
Yeah.
God of Thunder, number 2. Same
So
comments.
that was again same problem as the Jane Foster one.
Yeah.
And even worse, they killed off Gore. It's always
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it got killed, didn't it?
Yeah, and it was a lame movie, and he was lame in the movie, so doubly bad. I picked this book up at totally the wrong time. I picked it up just before the movie came out, so I could have gotten I even got like a lower grade copy too, and then afterwards I could have gotten a 9/8 for the same price. It was
Yeah, well, you can't win them all. You did pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I knew
haven't
that
got this, and I've no intention of getting it. I don't particularly like the cover either.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We've got Ultimate Fallout for second printing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I prefer it because you can
You
see
see
his
his
face.
face. Yeah.
Can't get excited about it.
So I'm like a comic snob. I've mentioned this before
No,
that
you like first
for
prints.
me, I like first prints. I feel like a second print is just like, it's like it's sort of like, what a gold medal versus silver medal. The silver medal is the first loser, while a second print in my mind is the first loser. So yeah,
You need to be careful because there's some second, third, fourth printings that are worth
I
way
know
more
that are
than
pretty
the first.
valuable. nowadays. But I always felt like it was false scarcity as well, because you could come like there's some where it's like 20th printing or something stupid, and there's like five printed or something, and then they
Yeah.
say, oh, it's super rare. Well, you could come out with a new printing and just put
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I always felt like it was kind of a false scarcity to it. So I think the second printing actually has a lot on the census too. The only thing that's going for it is the fact that you see his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know.
It's
It's not
not.
a bad
It
book.
doesn't do anything for me. And
So,
number
and the
nine.
way I always price the second prints, by the way, is 1/10 of the value of the first print.
Okay, so this should be worth $180 then.
Yeah. So check it. Can you do the right click?
Oh, you're not far off.
What was the last sale? Like 100 and
Uh,
150. No, it's like 300. Okay.
300. So it's not fitting into your rule there, but it has come
No,
down quite a lot, like the
it
other.
has a low of 150, but I'd say this book has more to drop then, based on my own rule. It's just a personal rule, but it's like a rule of thumb.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it's dropped a hell of a lot from the
Yeah,
peak,
yeah, yeah.
isn't it? It was over $1,000.
Yeah. It seems to be going by almost like 1/4 of the
Yeah,
other
because the
book.
main one's 1,900.
But
So
how many of these are on the census?
not as many. It's still a lot.
So
It's still 4,000.
actually, there's a lot.
That's a
There's a
lot.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not getting excited about that.
No, I'm totally not excited about this one. So, yeah, so that's okay. That was,
It's a
that's okay.
second print and it's overpriced, Alan. So
Yeah, yeah, I would say it's not a good one.
not
But
good.
my rule of thumb is just a rule of thumb. It's not something people should go by. Like it's personal what I feel it's worth. Yeah, but that's interesting. All right,
Okay.
and
And
then last,
in
two more.
ninth position, Invincible Iron Man 9 is that? I don't even know what that is. Why is that on there?
First, Riri Williams.
Oh, it's first Riri, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I have this book. I actually have I have the variant as well of this book. So yeah, so right now it's kind of tanked because Riri was introduced now. We got Riri from the
Yeah,
Black
we
Panther,
saw her. We didn't well, you
and
saw
we didn't like her. Nobody liked her. The universal sort of opinion of her is very, very bad. However, she is signed in to do like multiple movies. So whether you like her or not, you're
you're
getting
gonna
her.
get her.
You're going to get more of her. So yeah, I think this book has more room to go down, personally. even though even though they'll try to push it, they'll try to make it exciting. I think it'll go
You
down.
know, I've never been an Iron Man collector. I did like
Mhm.
Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, but Iron Man in the comics, I always, so he's a rich man and he's bought himself some thick armor. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to. That's why I'm trying to become rich so that I can buy myself some big armor.
Anyway, on to the last one down here. Venom. Oh god, Venom 3. Is this the first appearance of Null or something like that?
Yes. No. First appearance.
Yeah, it's a nice cover. I love the cover.
Oh, it's a great cover. And it's cool. It's a cool story too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool. I like this one.
Yeah, I've
Not a
always
big
liked this
Venom
one.
fan, but I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
I would buy this as purely as a cover buy. I think it's a really great cover.
Yeah, I think it's also a story I think that they will do someday in the MCU. It's one of those kind of, you can't say it's a classic story, but it's a story it's one of those grand stories. Like, there's certain stories that you say, oh, they're gonna have to do that at some point in a movie. The whole Gord the God Butcher run was kind of like that, where they said, oh, this is a really great story. We gotta do it sometime.
Yeah.
Not necessarily do it correctly, but
It might be 20
but
years time.
yeah, but I can see this as being that kind of book.
Yeah.
So long term, I think it's a great book.
Yeah.
If I would like just look at the curves on it, and if it has a good curve, find the time when it looks like it's at the bottom, and then buy it. It pretty much all books right now are kind of hitting that bottom. So
This one hasn't been too bad, Alan.
actually not too bad. I'm
It's
surprised.
because it was not. Oh, that's interesting. It did have a nice rise last year. It
Yeah, everything had a
tanked,
nice
though.
rise
It
last
has
year.
not tanked.
It hasn't taken because I think a lot of people probably feel the same way as I do and you do,
Yeah.
that it's a good book ultimately.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Yeah, it's holding its value around 250.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, if you can get it for around that 200, I would say a $200 mark,
Yeah.
225 maybe,
Yeah.
you're probably okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a lot of these as well.
Yeah,
There's
three
3,009.
3,009 eighths. Wow. That's so like I'm a golden age collector. So when I see like anything in the thousands, I'm like, oh my goodness, so brutal.
Yeah, but I'm collecting loads of Lanes and early Batmans at the moment. You're lucky to see 200 on there.
Yeah, exactly. So wow, yeah, that's brutal. Okay, but there it's a modern book, so there's a bigger audience for it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
true. True.
yeah. So 5,000 is not. It's pretty standard, seems to be like from the ones that we just looked at, they
Yeah,
all had around
similar.
5,000.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
And this is just as bad as the other ones are. So but I think it's a better story. So ultimately I think it's a good book. So that's my opinion of the first 10 modern ones that we've done on. So do you want to do the next set of, we can go into Silver Age on your channel?
Well, so on my channel, we're doing a discussion about what is a comic.
Okay. But for
So
next week, how about we
next
do
week
Silver Age on my channel
yeah,
and Golden Age on your channel?
no, it's silver and bronze.
Silver and bronze. Okay, silver and bronze. Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll do bronze on my channel and silver on your
yeah,
channel.
next week.
Sure. Okay. So next week. So if you enjoyed this great conversation, you got to wait till next week to see more of us having this conversation about the hottest books of 2022
So
based on
exactly.
ages.
So it'll be on Boxing Day. So you'll have had your Christmas dinner. You'll have had your argument with your mother-in-law. You can have fallen out with your wife and
Yeah.
expelled the kids from the house.
Yeah.
And then you can sit down on Monday evening and watch Alan and I talking about comics.
Exactly. What a perfect day. Okay. Bye for now, guys.